Yo, Big Kish back up in here. It looks like Akademiks haven't learned his lesson. We all know Drake do not like Akademiks, but he haven't learned his lesson. You know what I'm saying? It looked like we got Hello Yassine bringing us this video. It goes, Drake ducks another Akademiks interview. Another one. This dude went an interview with Bobby Altoff, who nobody knows. Rather than going to everybody, he went up there crying. I seen a couple clips. I ain't see the whole thing, but I might go over it just to tell y'all about it, because I know y'all ain't checking for it. Before we get into that, y'all make sure y'all pick y'all up a copy of Street Dad, Geek Dad, Avoiding the Manufactured Mindset, written by me, Big Kish. The link will be in the description for purchase. Appreciate everybody supporting the book, supporting the channel. Y'all make sure y'all get the likes up and subscribe. I will leave a link in the description as well. Y'all know I'm like holding y'all. Without further ado, let's get it.
What's poppin', y'all? Drake finally did his return interview with Bobby Altoff, and he used it as a vessel to address a lot of the questions and narratives that have been running about him in the beef. So it was quite a tactical usage of her, but this was after she had deleted her quit her podcast. It was just a promo run where she said like, oh, this sucks, it's time for this to be over, and a bunch of people were talking about like, oh, her podcast is flopping now, which it may have been, but initially who blew her up was none other than Drake. Like, he hit her up, took her out of nowhere, blew her up. She started getting a bunch of interviews after that. She got a podcast deal, but then Drake had her take down the podcast. They had issues in their relationship for months after, and apparently they repaired it. But here, not only is this another, not just diss to Akademiks, I wouldn't call it a diss, but just a slight, another person that gets an interview before him, but he calls out all of these other hip-hop media outlets. So I'm gonna play you guys that clip right now, and then we're gonna get into the Akademiks clips before this interview happened.
I really do feel like, and people are asked like, oh, why are you here doing this again? Like, what's the point? Like, even on the way up here, like, my boy was like, why are you doing this again? And I was like, well, what we did, like, it changed a lot of things for a lot of people. It was me essentially, like, just recognizing somebody that I never met in my life, that I fully believed in, that I thought was really interesting, and I wanted to have an interesting conversation with.
I don't want to hear that shit. He was trying to smash old girl. We know what the hell going. He was trying to smash her, and she denied him, man. We know what's going on. You lying.
Pissed off like so many, like, all these losers, these, like, you know, like, story journalists, and like this guy and that guy who like feels so entitled to this interview about, and Drake never does anything for like this type of media, and it just like made people so angry that two people who actually like have just like maybe nothing to talk about, or everything to talk about, but just based on like random energy could come together. I think it changed a lot of things.
So now black hip-hop media is weak now. Now he said everybody's weak. Look, bro, she don't know nothing about what you got. She looking at you like you weak. Look at her face. Talking about all these little journal guys talking about you owe them and all that. Bruh, look where you at, bro. You are in hip-hop. You supposed to been in hip-hop, but you so fake. Now you're exposed. You was in hip-hop. You ain't in hip-hop no more. You with Bobby Altoff.
It changed a lot of things, like on TikTok. It changed a lot of things, like in the streaming world. Like, it made people more comfortable to go sit down with somebody that they've never sat down with before, you know, like, not to take like overly take credit, but when I do see like somebody,
look how she looking at him. You look like you little damn baby. Get out of here. She wanted to go be with YG and them, man. She wanted to go back to the hood and listen to them gunshots. Y'all seen when we was reacting. She was in the hood with YG. That's what she wanted to be at. Look at
like
him.
on TikTok. It changed a lot of things like in the streaming world. Like it made people more comfortable to go sit down with somebody that they've never sat down with before, you know, like not to take like overly take credit, but
Look at her. Look at her. She like, why are you telling me this, Ninja? Why are you telling me this? I don't know nothing about hip hop. Why are you telling me this, Drake? This is that look right there. That look.
when I do see like somebody, you know, who keeps to themselves, like a Nicki Minaj, like go to like Kai Cenat's house, or like I see, you know, these musicians go to like a guy like Blackboy Max's studio and start making songs with him. Like I feel like we did usher in the idea of just like,
Hell
like
no.
you can be from two completely different walks of life. Celebrities are not here, that we're like, the goal is not to be.
First of all, she trying to be like Funny Marco. Funny Marco started all this. She trying to be like Funny Marco. So y'all ain't originate shit. Y'all ain't originate a damn thing.
Be like some unattainable head for your whole life, you know, and only to like sit with Zane Lowe while he like asks you like the most like curated and formal questions. No disrespect to him, you know, like,
Yeah.
but it's just like I think we did something that was special.
Yeah.
And
First, we got to cast a lot of stuff to the side. No, the only thing.
Hold on. If you thought it was so special, why y'all delete the interview? If you thought it was so special, why y'all delete the interview then? Thought so.
It changed. The only people it changed anything for was you and her, and more so her than you, because yeah, people were gonna be upset. That's like saying when he did a stream with XQC, it changed everything because a bunch of hip hop outlets were upset that he hopped on a stream with XQC. No, people weren't really mad. People didn't like her because she also took from Funny Marco, and people felt that she did it worse. And let's keep it a buck, it's because she's a white chick. That's most of it. But that wasn't the end. He felt like it ushered in a new era. What are you talking about? He did this podcast, what? When was the original one? Like 2023? Dog. July 2023 was when he did this podcast. You didn't usher in jack anything. Aiden Ross was in 2021. Like talking about, oh, going and sitting down with people that you're not so comfortable with. Aiden Ross cycled through every single rapper in that era in his 2021, even Uzi.
Aiden Ross was up there getting robbed by rappers. Y'all remember 21 Savage had Aiden Ross have been doing this, bro. What are you talking about? Yeah, I ushered in and like, you ain't ushering shit. Go shut up. Go sit down somewhere, boy.
Uzi linked up with them back then, which was crazy to see. So no, you didn't do anything. Like, what the hell? This guy's talking about, no, we changed a lot. Maybe you changed some stuff on TikTok, but in the grand scheme of things, no. Blackboy Max grinded it up from the bottom. Blackboy Max was doing In the Boots with random artists. Not random, but underground artists. And then he had random artists come up because Laserdisc blew up from a Blackboy Max stream. He was just a guy that I guess was watching him, and he was showing up on different Discord like dates and stuff like that. So some guy from his community blew up, and people were sending beats in from his community. So he was really doing it grassroots. Then he got underground artists after that, and then when he got so lit, the mainstream artists came. And you haven't even, like, you've tapped in with Blackboy Max, you hit him up, but you haven't even done anything yet. So you kind of just wait.
And you seen what they was doing because Drake be tapped into what they doing so he could copy it. And then he went on crying to her. What did he say? He talking about, yeah, you know, people saying that I'm a culture vulture. And bro, why are you telling her that? What's she gonna do? Nothing. She can't do nothing. Talking about, yeah, people calling me a culture vulture when I was just trying to uplift people. You was not trying to uplift nobody. No, you wasn't. You was fake uplifting them so you could take their resources, so you could take their hit songs. And we peeped it out. Why you going to Bobby Altoff crying, boy? Get to the music. Get to the music.
Except for this girl. That's the thing. Well, actually, maybe, I don't know another instance in which Drake tapped in with somebody before they had any motion. And we're talking about, like, this chick had zero motion before Drake tapped in with her. Other than maybe like a slimy. So too much Young Thug talk. Got me talking.
Yeah, get
got
it
me
together.
twisting
You got
my
it.
words.
You got it.
Smiley, who you could say he had some motion maybe in Toronto or maybe in the Toronto streets, and Drake messed with him and he gave him a hit. But yeah, that interview didn't do anything. And then he's talking about like, oh, they're gonna be so mad. And you know what the funny thing is? He almost slipped up and said that, oh, you know, they have so much to talk about. As in, yo, me and you, we're the same. Like, you are actually representative of me when I'm not acting out this hip-hop persona. But he caught himself. It was a smart catch there. But how does Akademiks feel about all this? Because, let's keeping it a buck, this guy's been fighting, this guy's been at war with Drake stands, or with Kendrick stands, for well over a year. And you just dubbing him like this. So when
Man, you got bro, it's gotten so bad. You got Kendrick fans like Drake, bro, get Akademiks an interview. You got Kendrick fans out there. Yo, we starting to feel bad. Like, yo, come on, man. This shit's getting sad, bro. Look. Hey, look, get a man an interview, bro. Just get him one. Just get him one. That's it. Come on, bro.
When this initially was announced, he let people know that he was frustrated. So I'm gonna play you guys that clip right now.
I've known this info for a while. I was actually waiting to low-key leverage this for an interview. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little pissed off because I seen Drake with Bobby Althorpe. So I'm tight. I ain't gonna cap with you. I'm a little tight. So, fuck it.
Oh, he admitted it. He's tight.
We gotta get to it.
So here, he's like, yo, I'm not too happy about this. You shouldn't be. But then he goes on in this next clip where it gets a little bit juicy. Pause.
It's clear to say, and I'm gonna sit here and speak to y'all very openly honestly, because I do hear a lot of, not even rumblings, but there's a loud echo and a loud noise saying, yo, Drake, my brother, I think you're not reading the room here. You just went through one of the most horrifying rap battles of life, and the entire premise was trying to show or trying to say you're not someone of the culture, and you keep doing content with people who seemingly are not within hip-hop, okay? And I completely understand that. And by the way, I do kind of look at Drake like, bad timing again. Now, honestly, I think this is a great business move. I just think it's bad timing.
Akademiks starting to lose sleep. He's starting to lose sleep, y'all.
I think Drake, like, again, I could be wrong. I haven't asked him about it. It's no way he doesn't own a part of this podcast or the company that owns this podcast or is giving this woman an opportunity.
It don't matter.
With all due respect, Bobby Althorpe is not a talented person. With all due respect.
Damn sure ain't.
There is a lane for her to flourish, but especially within the lane that she is trying to cannibalize off of, without Drake walking her through the door, now, not once, but twice, she is not as effective. No one really wants to sit with her. She comes across as either condescending or absent-minded. She doesn't do great interviews, but you are doing what we've accused Jay of doing, giving someone a cultural key that maybe we don't think should even be a cultural visitor. So now you've told them they could live here. Drake has to, like, and I've spoken to many people.
How you inviting people in and you ain't even in for real? We kicked you the fuck out. We got you up out of there. You up out of here. So how you inviting her in? That don't make no sense. Like he said, she's absent-minded. She tried to copy Funny Marco's style with that not saying nothing, sitting up there ignoring you, and then like yo, you're not funny. You're not funny.
People about it. They're like, yo, no, Drake must be trying to fuck her. If Drake is doing this to try to fuck this chick, he's too horny. No, it's too great. No, it's too horny. He has to own part of her podcast or the network that's publishing her podcast. Otherwise, nothing makes sense. I will stick on that. Again, I would rather, and I hear the rumblings of people saying, no, Drake is just avoiding hip-hop press. Like, people are like, well, yeah, he ain't gonna do nothing with you, Maul, or nobody else. He's just avoiding y'all because he don't want to answer the questions. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case. I think he is going to do that in due time. And I want to believe that he has business with this woman. I will say the timing is still horrible. and reading the room is still not the thing that I've said about Drake, especially post beef.
I'm not gonna lie, I gotta give credit here. This is grade A copium. I've never seen copium like this. This is medical grade copium. Talk about like, oh, he has to own, and he even says later on, which we'll get into, that he doesn't even know if he owns any of the podcasts. But let's keep it real, man. Podcasts are not making money. Like the idea that people have of like, yo, podcasts are making. You remember when there was a year or two when people were like, yo, podcasters are making so much money? No, they're not. Let's be real here. Maybe the ones that have an ad network that
they make money if they get them brand deals, like $1 million worth of game, Joe Budden podcast, people that's backing them. But this shit right here, this shit ain't making this Bobby Althoff shit ain't making no money. Ain't nobody checking for that shit.
That they're jacking up numbers. I'm talking about Barstool. So what really happens is like this network or this podcast network has a bunch of podcasts under it. And then they go to these brands or corporations and they're like, hey, we get all of these views on our podcast network. Pay us this much for all these ads. And then they distribute that to each. And then they have each of these podcasts run the ads and they jack their numbers up. I don't want to point out exact names, but you can tell like some of these numbers are just disgusting in comparison to how, and they're incentivized to do that because the more numbers that they can show for this podcast network, the higher deals they can get. So this is pennies to Drake. Drake has a stake deal. This guy's got a gambling deal that's paying him maybe $10 million a month. Who knows? Possibly more. And you're telling me he's gonna do something that hurts his reputation to what? Get some crumbs? Like this chick's not gonna make more than 10 M's in a year unless she's got disgusting deals that we don't know about. And maybe, who knows? But nah, I don't think this is something that Drake even wants to be involved in, to be frank. So I really don't think he's in business with her. Now, of course, I'm willing to be proven wrong, and I would like to hear just the logic behind why he would get with her as opposed to any other person who he could get lit with a podcast or someone that's already got a podcast and maybe he wants to take them to the next level. So I don't think that's the case, but I am willing to accept the theory of this was a big FU to everybody else where he said like, yo, all these media outlets, not only were they downing me because barely any of them were actually supporting Drake during the beef, and Kendrick didn't give them an interview either. He just gave them a mandatory showing up with Apple Music because they were like the sponsors or the presenters of the Super Bowl, and he was doing the Super Bowl show, and Nadesco was out there acting as if it was the resurrection of Jesus Christ himself coming back at the end of times, like the way that she was reacting. It was, I'm not going to get into like her personal life, that would be rude, but yeah, that reaction was quite shocking. She was shaking. It's hilarious. So I think he thought to himself, like, yo, how can I give a big F you to all of
Who he talking about? Who he talking about? Y'all put in the comment section, who reaction he talking about?
these people that want me to show up with them? And this was his way of doing it because throughout the interview, he answers a lot of the questions that would have been asked. And this was for sure scripted, not as in word for word.
All his stuff scripted. This is why he don't go to no real ninjas. He's not going to be on a my expert opinion or something like that. He's not going to be up there with Elliot Wilson and all them because his shit is scripted. His shit is scripted.
But they were like, hey, let's touch on these topics and let's do them in our way. And they bounce off of each other well. Like, the interview was entertaining. I'm not going to lie about that. But yeah, Akademiks, he's trying to cope here. And he goes on in this next clip where he believes that Drake is just doing it for the money.
Who have questions like, how do you feel about this? I feel Drake isn't reading the room properly, but I think Drake is doing business. Again, just like when people ask me about the Kick situation or why doesn't he stream with you? I don't think Drake wants to stream. I think Drake sees a lucrative dollar sign and he follows the dollar sign to do.
But if Drake's so rich, why he following these little measly dollars? You got to think. If he got UMG in court and all of that, and UMG is the bag, could he be losing that bag? Is he becoming broke by getting all them lawyers? Because them lawyers got to be paid, y'all. Them lawyers got to be paid. And if he didn't renegotiate a deal with UMG, that's what they said, that he didn't renegotiate no deal, right? Where's he getting his bread from? This is probably why he's coming out with these little here and there, you know, these little plays here and there, something like, I don't know. Is Drake becoming broke? I don't know.
Do streaming, and I don't think Drake wants to podcast. I think Drake is podcasting for a business opportunity. I could be wrong, and I'm okay and open to stand possibly at the precipice of, hey, no, you're wrong. This is just out of touch. But I don't believe that's what that is. Again, specifically because it's Bobby Althoff, it's puzzling to me because it's making me say, it's not even about, are you going to do content with, say, a me or a Mealy Mall or something? It becomes, bro, you got to realize that hip hop and urban culture has dejected this woman. They don't like her. They think she's condescending, ear-headed. They feel she's getting opportunities she doesn't deserve. They feel, even in whatever resolve they had with the Yachty situation, they feel like she's talking down to black artists who maybe she's looking at as, oh, y'all are stupid.
I think the decisions that Drake makes just for the money are very few and far between. For instance, streaming with XQC, I think that's just for the money. With Aiden Ross, I think initially it was just for the money. Like Steak, of course, just for the money. And you can see that in his frustration with
It seemed like with SQC, it seemed like he wanted SQC's audience. It seemed like Drake want these guys' audience so he could tap into being a streamer. I believe he was trying to transfer into being a streamer because it's not working out in hip hop. He needs somewhere to invest his bread. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this, man.
Bijan, who is a co-owner of Stake, and his deal, and him deleting his Kick account and then bringing his Kick account back, and that's big money. Everything else, Drake has really done off the love. Like even Migos, I think it was Offset, he's been on an interview tour recently, and he's talking about how Drake gave them such favorable splits in the songs that they did together, and how he was like a solid one for doing that. He could have made money off of that. Migos were hot. He knew those songs were going to go crazy as well, or he knew that those songs would make a lot of money if he hopped on them. So I don't think he's making these decisions money-based, but Akademiks.
That's not what Bag Fuel and them was saying. Bag Fuel and them was saying that Drake took all the proceeds from them records. He took everything. I don't know. Offset could have been paid off to say that shit. You never know, man. People getting paid off behind closed doors. So I just don't believe any and everything somebody say on an interview. I don't believe all of that. Yeah, man, Drake gave yeah, he showed love, man. Buddy always showing love. But Buddy, he gave us, I don't believe that shit. Tell that shit to somebody else.
Akademiks is right in that when the music comes out, because music hasn't come out yet. When the music comes out, then you've got to do something. And the something has to be with Akademiks. If another rollout, honestly, we already know Drake don't really mess with Ak. He just sees him as a fan page. Like Thugger updates, like he probably gets more love from Thug than Akademiks gets from Drake. Being honest here. Or Thugger Daily, is that? Yeah, it's Thugger Daily. And Gunna updates or whatever. But if it happens again, Akademiks will find a cope. He will always find a cope, for sure.
Drake don't even like that nigga, man. Drake don't like that motherfucker. He don't even like him. Akademiks know that, man. We seen the stream. We seen it. Hey, Akademiks, get off my live, man. Akademiks acting like a little Chuck E. Cheese kid and all that, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation, man. Why is Drake ducking hip-hop journalists? Why he's ducking the real hip-hop guys? Is it because he don't want to answer them hard questions? You know what I'm saying? Or he going with Bobby Althoff to make everybody mad? I'm going to tell you this. Bro, ain't nobody mad, bro. The only ones that's probably mad is Akademiks and Maul. Ain't nobody mad that you doing that with Bobby Althoff. Do your thing. It's trash. You know what I'm saying? It's whack. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Big Kish signing out. I'm going, y'all.